Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Whiskey, Cars, and Cigars. I'm your host, Johnny Blender, and I'm glad y'all are joining me tonight. We had a lot of stuff coming up tonight. I'm in a little bit of a funk, but let's see if everything is working right. Yeah, there we go. I got stuff working. I don't have my Periscope cam going tonight, but I just didn't turn it on. Let's see. We got a lot of stuff coming up this weekend, but before I get started with that, I would like to first thank our sponsors of the show here on the Edge Radio. That's racersdirect.net, where you can get all of your racing supplies, including RJS safety equipment, two-way communications, just any parts and things that you need. You can find them at racerdirect.net. And if they've got some specials going on right now on fire, all safety equipment. They've got some really, really good specials on. Also, if you need fuel jugs, if your fuel jugs look ratty and you need to change them and get some new ones, they've got these wonderful 5-gallon fuel jugs that come. Let me unscrew this thing right here. They come with this really good hose for filling. It's sturdy, it's strong, it's got another cap on the end. I like to tuck them in, that way I don't lose them. And you can see we can take these and we put the Renegade Racing Fuel, which you can get at Performance Metal and Vampire Chassis and Independence. You can call us. We've got the best prices around. So check that out. But if you want to get some of these racerdirect.net fuel jugs, you can get those. You can go to racersdirect.net and get those. They're $24.95. If you use the discount code WCC, you'll get 5% off, and you'll also get free shipping on it. You don't have to wait for that $50 order or whatever it is for free shipping. If you just use the WCC code, you'll get free shipping and 5% off of your entire purchase. So let's see. With that being said, we've got some pretty cool events coming up this weekend. Let's see. My computer has done something tonight, so my notes and stuff are jumping all over the place. Let's see. We got Doug Smith. Hey, Doug Smith from Hawaii is joining in, and Doug Smith is the owner of Hawaiian Island Shine, and that is the car detail products that we have been raving about for the last month and a half. This stuff is unbelievable. You'll actually, once you use this stuff, and you can get these products at racerdirect.net. Once you start using these products, you will do like Lynn did, who is a Nazi on keeping her car clean. She took all of her products, her Armor All, or Simonize, or Turtle Wax, or Meguiar's. What else? Windex. 2001. She put them all in a garbage bag and left them for the garbage man to pick up. So you will do away. They've got products that do everything. I see my buddy Ronnie and Lori Owens have joined. Let's see. The Dirty Dog, Steve Godwin, is in the house. Gavin Williams, calling all the way from the Great White North, is joining us tonight. But let's see. We've got the GNAT 20th anniversary. Oh, crap. My notes are killing me. Let's see, the 20th annual GNAT Nationals, Misfit Street Cruisers. It's an open car, truck, and bike show, March 3rd, 2018, this weekend. 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., awards at 2 p.m. Well, my notes gave me a slip again. Let's see, they're going to have silent auctions, wipeout board, prizes galore, food, 50s and 60s music, games, coloring contest. Might get Lynn to jump in on that. Dash plaques, sponsored awards, vendors, top prizes for all ages. That is brought to you by Our Lady of the Gulf. It's going to be at 228 South Beach Boulevard in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. That'll be a real good family-friendly event. If you've got any questions about that, you can drop my buddy. You can stalk him here on Facebook, my buddy Wade Cuevas, and ask him a question, or Derek Ladner, one of our sponsors, Derek Ladner with D&M Graphics. He put all the stuff on the Fury dragster that makes it look so good. I am joined now by the Twisted Southern Horror Queen. How are you tonight?
I'm still tired.
You're still tired. So that is the 20th annual GNAT car show, Bay St. Louis, this weekend. Check it out. I am, there it went. All right, so let's see some of the racing that went on this last weekend. I've got an update from Orangeburg Speedway, where they are Orangeburg Motorplex. No, South Carolina Motorplex. I'll get the name of the place right. Hopefully Jeff's not listening right now. I see my buddy Ryan Carey is joined. Man, I've moved my computer away from it because my head looked so big when I started watching the show on YouTube. I look like that big head on the Wizard of Oz, the wizard behind the curtain.
I'm tired. I'm just going to let that slide.
There you go. All right, I got a break. Let's see. They said despite some traffic delays that unfortunately discouraged some exciting fans, we had a great event this past weekend when the Street Outlaws were in Orangeburg. You never know what to expect. The place was packed. They thank everyone who pulled together to help get ready for this event, and everyone helped them get through this event. So that was their first. That was their first event under new ownership. So, you're going to have a few hiccups. You get used to things the more you do it.
That's right.
Let's see, the Dirty Dog. He just thought that was natural. Gavin Williams said, hello, Lynn.
Hello, Gavin.
Gavin's our buddy in the Great White North.
That's right. I'm going to try to get that T-shirt out, Gavin. My butt's still dragging from PensiCon.
Yeah, we're recuperating from PensiCon. Let's see. And then next weekend, March 9th and 10th, we have Uncle Jesse's event. Southern Outlaw Gassers, this shirt right here. GBO7 in Atmore, Alabama, at Atmore Dragway.
Pretty cool little event.
Yeah, it's going to be a good event. We're planning on being there.
Planning
on being there.
Depends on how the house sitter feels.
Yeah. Well, we're just going to go for the day.
Okay.
It's just a day event. I mean, it's the 9th and the 10th, but I think the 9th is just time trials. If you want to get in and run some test hits, you can get in there and do that. But the racing actually starts on Saturday. Gates open at 8 o'clock Saturday morning. Let's see. It's 1964 Gassers VIP. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm reading what email Jesse sent me. 64 Gasser VIP tech cars were mailed out. All 74 and back bracket cars also invited with junior dragsters, open wheel, and exhibition. And Uncle Jesse said if everybody can just bring one friend, that will double the crowd.
Nice.
They have a lot of giveaways, plus a parade for the kids. Kids 12 and under are free. It's $15 entry, $10 on Friday. You run your car at 6 p.m. for $10 on Friday night. For test and tune. Let's see. Late models, rice rockets, bikes, trucks, whatever you got, you can bring it Friday night. They're also having a contest for the backup girls, winning $100, $50, and $25. So I know our girl Donna White from Mississippi will be there. She's at all of them.
Yeah,
Sugar Bug.
Don't look at me.
Sugar Bug. She'll be there. So that'd be Uncle Jesse. This is his 7th one of these. And he does a really good job at it. And I like the guy. He's not related to me, but I don't know anybody else named Jesse. So I call him Uncle Jesse.
And you hand out a whole bunch of those flyers.
I gave out a lot of flyers at PensiCon last weekend for Uncle Jesse's event. So that'll be and it was funny because all the military guys I talked to wanted to come to it.
Yeah.
And I aggravated the hell out of a lot of military guys.
Yes, you did.
I did. I'm a Navy guy, so we had some Navy guys there, but
poor Marines.
The Marines, man. Well, the Marines didn't catch as much crap as the Air Force guy did.
Yeah, that's true.
The Air Force guys I was pretty hard on. And then the big black guy and his wife that had the cosplay as not consent sign, he was a sergeant major in the Army.
Oh, Lord.
So he was a real good guy, and we got a picture on the website of me and him, and both of us. I think I was the only person, even Mr. Bain, all the big people that they had come on to took pictures with us. He was the only one that was bigger than me.
Yeah,
he was Randy Orton size.
Yeah, he was a big guy.
He's a big guy,
but a nice guy.
Very nice guy. Very nice guy. So check out that event in Atmore, Alabama this weekend or next weekend. I'm sorry. That's Oink. I want to thank this is me. I said, Cody Hollers, my boy from the 405. How you doing, Cody? Got Zeus 405 Nova, big car, heavy car, fast car. I like it whenever he joins in and follows the show. He's gonna be one of the party crashers.
Nice.
This weekend at PensiCon we had a loss in the family. We are a dog family, and I had a 15-year-old German Shepherd named Dixie, who was just one of my best friends. And we had our house sitter that stays here with the dogs whenever we go out. And evidently Dixie passed away Saturday morning. He just didn't wake up. And Lynn found out about it, and she carried that weight all weekend. Uncle Jesse, I see he's in. Lynn carried the weight of that all weekend without telling me because I was having such a great time, and we were having a blast putting the kids in and out of the car and taking pictures of them and things like that. And then there were people at the con who were friends of ours that knew that this had happened. And everybody had kept it away from me, so I wouldn't, I guess I wouldn't feel so bad. But we've got great friends. Susan and Mike Jones from Pensacola. We went out to dinner with them and Bill Gibson, the owner of the Christine movie car. And they were trying to help, and they had made the suggestion that we could go home early and they would bring the dragster home. And it was
going to drive us home.
Yeah, they were going to drive us home. And then my buddy Leon, TC Gorman is the girl that we have that's house sits for us. And she had the painful duty of calling Lynn and telling her. And then my good friend lives down the street from me, Leon Prevost. Lynn got on the phone and called Leon and asked him if he could come get Dixie out of the house. And Leon, without hesitation, came down here, took Dixie out of the house, buried him in the back. They've got a little headstone out there with the RIP at 224 on it. They put pretty flowers on it. And last night when I was standing up, and I'm a little sad about it, I was looking out there and I saw a light, and they had put a solar LED light on the grave. So the eternal flame is burning for my big dog, the dragon dog, Dixie. Now, he was named after a beer, but he really liked scotch. So, even Mike Inslee, we were at PensiCon this weekend, and Mike Inslee, who is the owner and the operator of PensiCon, which was huge. I think we did 40,000 people for the weekend. He even sent me a note sending his regards, his sympathy, condolences. That's the word I'm looking for my loss. And, that right there, this guy was handling 70-plus stars, a staff of about 500 people between employees and volunteers, and just taking the time out to do that was way beyond what he needed to do. But I appreciate it. Let's see. Tammy Simpson has joined. Uncle Jesse, we just talked about your event. Next weekend, the 9th and 10th, the Southern Outlaw Gassers Blowout 7 in Atmore, Alabama, at Atmore Dragway. I left my phone in the shop because I think Uncle Jesse was going to call in tonight. So I left my phone out in the shop. I wasn't really thinking. But hey, you know what?
I would say I'd go get it, but I can't ever find anything in that shop.
I know.
I stopped looking.
I got a little bit of my coconut moonshine, and this one's for Dixie. Good dogs like that don't come along very often. All right. So let's see. We were at PensiCon last weekend, and we had a blast. It wore us out.
It did. We've been home for a day now, or 2 days now. Still exhausted.
I was trying to get psyched up and work out in the shop today, and it was tough. It was really tough. And I just deleted my notes.
Well, that's going to be fun.
Yeah. I just deleted all of them.
That's fantastic. You did a good job.
I was trying to use that undelete button.
Yeah.
It didn't work. Uh-oh. We're freestyling now.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
Hey, Gavin, I wish you were down here to try some of this coconut rum, too. Hey, I see my buddy Alan Faulkner has tuned in. Alan's got a big event coming up. Hey, Alan, I had your event in Eldridgeburg, Alabama, on my notes, but I just hit a button and everything's gone. So if you're still there, shoot me a little note on here. And Jim Cummings from East Coast Fuelers, heaven is the place where all the dogs you've ever loved come to greet you. Man, that's
awesome.
That's great, Jim. I really appreciate that. But Lynn carried that all weekend, and the bad thing about it, she didn't want to ruin my weekend. It ruined her weekend. She didn't want to ruin my weekend, so she didn't tell me. So I got a pretty classy wife. And then when
I wouldn't have made it through the weekend without Susie Jones.
I know Susie Jones
and
was
TC.
They were huge. They were huge and helped. But one of the things is Lynn knew this, and we got gas about 45 minutes from home. And I started talking, and I told Lynn, I said, when I get home, whenever I'm gone, Dixie would just come and just roll all over me for about an hour. And I made that comment unknowing. So that even put more pressure and more of a load on her. So she was very, very strong, and she was very supportive. So I'm pretty fortunate. I got a really good wife.
I'm going to remind you said that.
You don't have to. You actually went up a few points in my book. So now you got like 5, maybe 6.
Damn.
So you could only go up from there.
Okay.
Let's see. Uncle Jesse said it'd be good to see us next weekend.
I think so.
And these are Uncle Jesse's shirts back here. Uncle Jesse did a really good job with these shirts. On all the cars that you see that he has on here, he did some really nice things with that. He also put the names of the sponsors on the cars. He made the you've got Holmes Automotive, you've got Chad Craft Race Engines, Williams Prep, Steve's Mustang, Vaughn's Mobile Service, Kenny's Smoky Atkins, Barbersville, West Virginia. Well, we won't say that 4-letter word right there he's got on there. Car City Engine and Machine, KZ Fabrication, Charlie Barnes Automotive and AC Repair. There's another one for Winton Williams Paint and Body Shop, Clint Holmes Automotive. So it's Steve's Mustangs. So he did a really good job, and that was really good thinking the way he did that. I like that because now he's got those shirts you can pick up at the event, or if you just want to jump on Southern Outlaw Gasser's Facebook page, find Jesse Holmes, send him a message, tell him you want one of those shirts. Those shirts are cool. And then they've got the Southern Outlaw Gassers. That's the back of the shirt. That's the back of the shirt. And then he's got the Southern Outlaw Gassers logo on the front of it. So really good, really good. So check that out. I'm reading the message.
You're meditating.
Oh, Michael Smith. Michael Smith is the guy. Michael Smith is the owner of Built Right Trailers in Brookhaven, Mississippi. And that's where we bought the trailer that we towed the Fury dragster in. He is a great guy. Michael, I called him the other day to ask him about a bigger trailer.
Oh, God.
Well,
Michael, me and you going to have a talk.
Well, you don't have to talk with Michael. Michael's brother-in-law is buying the company. Mm-hmm. And they've got the best price in trailers. I mean, we got an awesome deal. I'm not going to say how little we got. I'm not going to say how much the trailer costs for how much we got.
Because you forgot what you told me.
No, I know what I told you, but I don't know if their prices have changed in 2018, so I don't want to.
Okay.
So I don't want to mess them up because, I mean, everything, you have inflation on everything, and I don't know what it is. And I was supposed to send him a message about a 28-foot, 8-wide, 28 long, 8-wide V-nose, same scheme, red with the chrome package, just like this one. And Michael Smith, he just happened to tune in tonight.
Digging a hole.
He just happened to tune in tonight.
Michael,
this is a coconut
moon. In a book.
This is coconut moonshine. It's wonderful.
If there is a longer trailer in my yard in the next few months, I am putting you in.
All right, Alan Faulkner has I-22 Motorsports Park. May 4th and 5th, front engine dragsters, alters. Join us at the Slingshot Alters and Jonah, you can check them out at the Facebook page, Alters, Slingshots, and Altered. No, I'm saying that wrong. Apparently. Slingshots, Altereds, and Fuel Coupes. You got me all messed. Michael Smith's done messed everything up for the show tonight. He's done got me. Oh, have a drink for Gavin Williams. You know what, Gavin? I will do that. That coconut moonshine is the best. That coconut moonshine was one of the hits at PensiCon and wasn't there. When we got there Thursday afternoon, Ian Beattie, one of the actors from Game of Thrones, was walking out of the hotel. Now, I had already pulled up with the truck and the trailer in front of the Grand Hotel in Pensacola, Florida, and there was a traffic jam. There was thousands of people there.
Half of it was security in the trailer looking at the car.
So when Lynn went in to get all of our credentials and our room keys and everything like that, and I was just sitting out there in the truck, and they're trying to move me and get me to pull somewhere, and I wasn't going anywhere. So I told Jeremiah. Jeremiah was one of our buddies who was the second in command of security. So I told him, he asked me what was in the trailer, and I said, "You want to see?" And he goes, "Yeah." So I got out, unlocked the trailer, dropped the back door. The Fury dragster was there, and man, everybody started coming in and checking it out. And I did that for about 15 minutes, showing the dragster off inside the trailer. So we did that. Then I got it all closed back up. By that time, nobody was messing with me for anything. They didn't care how long it was going to take Lynn to come out. So I went and sat back in the truck. While I'm sitting in the truck, Ian Beattie from Game of Thrones comes out, and I look over at him, and I see him, and I smile, and he just kind of walks over to me and falls in the truck. "How are you doing?" And me and him hit it off, and we were sitting there talking and joking around, and they lost my luggage. He'd flown in from Belfast, Ireland, and they had lost his luggage on the plane. And he goes, "It was in a big Manchester United bag." I said, "That's who lost." I said, because he had flown to Manchester. I said, "That's where they lost it." I said, "You had somebody who liked Liverpool. They saw that Manchester United bag. That thing went to Pakistan." So he hung out, and I was telling him about the coconut moonshine because he had a few libations on the plane and at the hotel.
Probably on the way.
And across the street. And when they picked him up at the airport, he saw the ocean and wanted to go swimming. So he had the driver pull over. He jumped out of the truck. He ran, or jumped out of the van, jumped in the ocean, got out, swam around for a minute, came back and got in the van. They brought him back. So he had been there about an hour and a half when we saw him. So he had to dry it out a little bit from the water. But we had a real good time with him. And I told him, I said, man, you would love the coconut moonshine I got. So all weekend it was coconut moonshine. And then I said, yeah, my wife wouldn't let me bring it. So about that time, Lynn came walking out. And I said, this is my wife right here. And he turned to her, looked at her, and said, you didn't let him bring the coconut moonshine? So that was how the weekend went. Everybody wanted coconut moonshine. Every time I saw Ian, drunk or sober, he wanted coconut moonshine. So it was a really, really good event. We had a blast. I hung out with, Barbara Hershey, Brent Spinner.
We hung out with
John Delancey.
I hung out with you. I was outside with John Dugan.
Our buddy John Dugan.
Somebody else.
Tom Holland, the director Tom Holland. Tom Holland was a really good guy. He did the Chucky movies and Child's Play, and he did a whole bunch of movies. But when he walked out the back door, I said the guy's in his late 70s. When he walked out the back door, he looked at me. I was sitting there smoking a cigar, and he goes, do you know, they told me if I came out this door, I could see something old. And I looked at him, started laughing. I said, if you look in the mirror, you can see something old. And he just stopped and looked at me and started laughing. He said, no, old buildings and stuff. I said, well, this is an old building, 1900. Yeah. And he goes, no, they said there was. I said, I think you can walk out and walk around. I said, we just been here a little while. I hadn't looked at everything. But, yeah, so that was cool. I hung out with the cast of Land of the Lost. Christopher Judge Tilt from Stargate, smoked with him some. Smoked with the cast of Land of the Lost. I smoked cigars with Jason Smith from The Walking Dead. Let's see, who else?
The comic book guys.
There were two comic book guys. I cannot remember the names. Tommy Flanagan from Sons of Anarchy. Hung out with him for a little while. I had a blast. I ran out of cigars. I had a guy tell me, my doctor told me I couldn't smoke cigars anymore. He says, that was really good. That smells really good. I said, you want one? He goes, yeah, the doctor's not here. So he sat there and smoked a cigar with me for a while.
He was a producer as well.
Yeah. I can't remember all of them.
It's all right. After hours at the hotel. It's everybody.
Yeah, all right. Let me check some of these things. John, so far 64 gassers entries. I've already said that. You sent out 64 VIP tech cards. I already said that earlier, Uncle Jesse. He's got people coming from Mass, Ohio, all over the country. Going to be the biggest yet, and don't forget the free swap meet. I didn't forget that, or the junior dragsters, or the backup girl contest with first, second, and third prizes, $100, $50, and $25. Uncle Jesse, you tuned in late. I'm all over it tonight. Uh-oh, my computer died.
And he was telling everybody at PensiCon about it.
And
too.
let me tell you, Uncle Jesse, we handed out a ton of flyers at PensiCon, and we got the military is going to be there, all branches of the service, except maybe the Air Force. I was kind of messing with those guys a little hard. But, yeah, they were all excited about it. They were excited. Everybody wanted the Fury Dragster to be cranked up, but we couldn't crank it up at that event because of their rules and insurance and safety things. But, yeah, we had a great time. There's more people knows about that event, Uncle Jesse, than you can imagine. Alan Faulkner has said any kind of moonshine will make you talk funny. No, I just talk like this.
Yes.
Jim Cummins with East Coast Feelers said they have a bunch of events up there this year in the Northeast. So, Jim, try to email all that to me so I can keep everybody apprised of those events, because I've got people listening all over the place. I see David Sherry has chimed in, and David is one of Alan's buddies that's involved with the I-22 race, I-22 Motorsports Park. He sent me a message, and I talked to him the other day. I see my buddy Brandon Bell has joined. Bill Thompson, I'm not saying he's from a rival automotive land.
Oh.
I don't. Uncle Jesse and his grandson watch this show, and I don't use the F word. Now I'll talk about Chevrolet and Dodge, but I will not talk about the F word. Dale Burrell is joined. Oh no, Alan Faulk. I've been sitting here bashing the Air Force guys that I gave him grief to this weekend. He just happened to be an Air Force guy. Don't worry, there's enough of me to go around. All right. So yeah, that's gonna be a really good event next weekend. Uncle Jesse, I can't wait to. I've talked to him on the phone. I've messaged him for 2 years, year and a half on Facebook. I've talked to him on the phone probably half a dozen times. He's called in live to the show before. I just really can't wait to meet the guy. We had Ken Thibodeau stop by here today with his new T-shirts for the Spit and Sputter Dragster. Sandy Thibodeau is one of the people that has got me involved with HempWorks, hemp oil. It is a product that has really gone a long way in helping relieve some of my pain. 5 drops under your tongue twice a day. You can look on the Whiskey Cars and Cigars page up in the upper right corner. There's a button that says Learn More. You can click that and you can learn more about HempWorks. For $20, you can become a distributor to sell HempWorks. The product, I love it. It's worked great for me. It doesn't have any THC in it. It has CBD in it. The reason I remember CBD is because New Orleans has a central business district, so that's how I make mental notes of things. Sandy has put purple in her hair.
Of course she has.
She got some purple. She got purple streaks put in a couple of days ago, and Ken said she liked it so much she went and got more purple put in it today. So Miss Sandy Thibodeau is killing it with the purple and blonde hair.
My freak wore out.
I'm telling you, man, she was hung out around you too long. My buddy Cody Holler, Zeus 405, wants to know when we're going to be coming up that way. He might be coming down this way next month to do some racing with JJ the Boss. You coming down to Memphis, Cody? JJ's a pretty good guy. I hear from him often. Just hope you don't have to. All those cars that JJ the Boss has got on Memphis Outlaws. I got to tell you, Brian Britt's got they got the small block killer, but man, that little car, Brian Britt's, is just bad to the bone. That car is just tough. And then Mustang Mike, I didn't see him last week. No. But I think everything's cool with his car. I just don't think he was on that week.
No.
But yeah, man, Cody, we hope you get down this way. Hope you come down a little bit further south other than Memphis. Why don't you get down here and come see Barry Nicholson and Kai Kelly and some of them other guys. I can't remember all those other guys.
There's another one.
There's another one that called me to do some powder coat for him. I can't remember. I'm telling you, after this weekend. So yeah, man. I mean, it was a good time. It was a good time at PensiCon. We've got some great racing coming up. Let's see. Let's see if I can find any of my other. Nope. Oh, Brent Spinner. Brent Spinner from Star Trek Data did kind of aggravate him.
A little bit.
He came walking through with his hands over his mouth when I was sitting out back smoking. And I saw him the next day, and I said, man, I don't have a cigar with me now. I'm sorry about the other night. He said, it's not that I don't like cigars. He said, where they let him out to come into the hotel was the smoking area. He said, there was a wall. I was just one of many sitting there smoking. He said, there was just a wall of smoke that he did. He said, I love cigars. So there was just too much smoke at one time. The Fury Dragster we had a good time. We had everything from a little 2-year-old. We had a 2-year-old. What's she 2? She's 2 or 3. She's 2. She was dressed up like Tinkerbell, and her dad let her get in the car, and she got in the car, stood on a seat, was holding the wheel, making a sound like she was driving, and got a picture of her. And then he got her, picked her up, took her out of the car, and she went ballistic. She cried and screamed until I picked her up and put her back in the car. And then she stopped. But yeah, we had a blast. We saw some of our friends, the Roebucks, TD, Jeff, and Cammie, and the Cupcake Thief.
Rafe and Shannon
White. And did Rafe and Shannon know?
I told Shannon Sunday.
Okay. So yeah, everybody was very, very supportive, helping me out, helping me not know.
Yeah.
Everybody was trying to help me. Who? Brian Hill. Our buddy Brian Hill. Brian Hill's got a show on WRNO this week in Geek in New Orleans at a WRNO radio station, which, by the way, I want to remind everybody, you can check out. I think I've got the link up on the Whiskey, Cars, and Cigars page for the Edge radio station. So you can click that. I think I've got about 15 songs on it right now. I'm having to do programming for that and get all the music on it. But we're going to have all the shows, Casey Spears, Glenn Spillman,
the Twisted
Josh Berglund, the Twisted Southern Horror Queen, my lovely wife, or and then some other people. We've got a fitness guru, and they've got other shows that are added, but the shows are going to be running on the Edge radio station at night. And then when the shows go off, music will come back on. Our commercials are up, or ready to be up. We're waiting on some commercials from Renegade Racing Fuel. We're waiting on a commercial from, RacerDirect.net, RJS Safety Equipment. Who else?
D&M.
Well, D&M. Those companies aren't running commercials on the show, but they are sponsors of the dragster. That's Amelay Oil, NGK Spark Plugs, K&N Oil Filters, NGK Spark. I already said that one. Naked Wines, Kentucky Gentleman Cigars, D&M Graphics, Surreal Studios.
Yes.
That's all I can remember. My computer ate my homework, so I had all that information on my sheets. I got no pages.
That's all good.
But yeah, you can check all that out on Whiskey, Cars, and Cigars. Also, if anybody wants to get registered in the Amelay contingency program, I've got a link on there where you can click on that and enter or sign up, register for it. You get really, really good discounts on Amelay oil products. So yeah, check that out. Like I said, the link is on the Whiskey, Cars, and Cigars Facebook page, as well as the Johnny Blender Show page. Let's see, what do we have coming up next after Uncle Jesse's event?
Oh, I don't know off the top of my head. We'll have two cons pending dates in the near future that we haven't heard back from yet. But I was going to remind your listeners to check out the driver's seat, fire suit raffle, because, for example, our events are all pretty big, and this was a 40,000 event.
Yes.
So
you can check out the whiskey. I think I was supposed to do that tonight, wasn't I?
I don't know.
I think I was supposed to do the drawing for the Whiskey, Cars, and Cigar raffle tonight.
Well, we're tired. Let's put it off one more week. So
yeah.
That gives you guys one more week.
That gives you one more week to get involved in that. We've got entries for $20, 5 or 6 for $100. And where the Whiskey, Cars, and Cigars logo is on this shirt, this will be the same location that the your company, whoever the winner is, their logo will be on the fire suit, as well as on all the crew shirts. So for $20, you would have had your company in front of about 40,000 people just this weekend. And we've got 24 weeks of this kind of stuff booked already. And that's between cons, between racing events, between ADRL exhibition events, charity events, and we're already starting to book things for 2019. So it's a lot of exposure for any company. Your company will also be recognized with big companies, Amelie, K&N, Renegade, Weld Wheels, Mosier, Mickey Thompson. It's crazy.
I like crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. Well,
Alan, if you're still listening, I know Ken, you're listening. We talked about this a little bit today. Steve, hey, Godwin, if you're still there, hit me, give me a thumbs up or something so I know you're still there. Hey guys, I got a question for everybody who has a front engine dragster. What have you done on tires at racing on a non-prep surface? I'm going to tie in the exhibition dragsters to some of these no prep events. I'm going to make that happen. But I need, I called a guy at M&H yesterday, and I talked to him, and he said M&H has been making tires for no prep since the 60s. He said the rubber's not real different. And then Ken told me today that Goodyear has a special front engine dragster, 12.532, that I can't remember who, somebody's wheel company buys 250 sets of them a year. And he said the Goodyear tires are lighter. So I want to get into that. I talked to Jeff Began with the ADRL and Racer Direct and Seatbelt Solutions and RJS equipment. I talked to him a little bit about it the other day. And because they're going to have more no prep events with the ADRL events. So I want to figure out a way, and then I've talked to a few other people in different parts of the country. That's just a real, because you've got young people getting into racing, and that's one of the big things that I like to do with this show is we're trying to get younger people back into racing because there's not a lot of young people getting into it.
We had Tinkerbell this weekend.
She was 2 years old, and she was into it. If I would have cranked that car up, she would have probably screamed louder. But it's something that I want to look into and I want to do some research on because I think that'll be you're giving the fans, and everything that we do is for the fans. You're giving the fans the new hottest thing going in the no prep race series, the Outlaw series, and then you throw a little nostalgia in there, and they get to see the best of now and the best of then. And I just think that's a marriage made in heaven.
Hybrid.
That's really a good hybrid.
Yeah.
And keeping everything kind of outlaw.
Yeah.
Keeping everything kind of outlaw. You don't stay away from the safety issues of racing, but you do stay away from all the corporate crap. I'll say it, corporate crap that they have going on. That has just, they've made the reason there aren't younger people racing is because they've just made it so expensive. You can't build a car. That's one of the things that's with the no prep series and the outlaw series is, you can get out there and you're still safe. You're still going by safety guidelines. But instead of having somebody standing there beating you with a stick saying, oh, you got to do this and you've got to have this and you've got to – no, you don't. No, you don't. So it's a pretty cool – it's something that I'm looking into. It's something I want to try to put together for maybe the end of this season and definitely for next season.
I like it.
But I think it is – I think the only way you can move forward in the future is to remember your past. And the Street Outlaws and the No Prep Series is all about the future. And they wouldn't have got there without all the things that they did in the past. With the front engine dragsters, with the gassers, they wouldn't have done that. So that's my little pedestal, my little pulpit for the night. So how was your show Tuesday night?
I don't remember much of it. I was kind of in La La Land. I think it was okay. You listened to some of it.
I fell asleep. Yeah, I fell asleep. It wasn't that it was boring. It was just I was freaking tired.
Yeah, I hear you.
And it was funny. Cody Holler said something to me a few minutes ago about JJ the boss, and I just got a message from JJ.
What's What's JJ doing?
Quit talking about me on your radio show. So JJ's listening.
I like it. Hey, JJ.
Let's see. Yeah, so we've got some pretty interesting things coming up. I hope PensiCon was a huge event for us.
Yeah.
The event center couldn't hold us because it was freaking huge. And that's a seating stadium. That's for ice hockey and basketball and stuff like that. So most all the room in that is seating except for the hockey rink, the floor. And then the wings are where they have all the stars. And I think they had over 70 stars at this event. Yep. And I will say this. I usually just drink moonshine on the show, but I did partake of quite a bit of Crown Thursday night.
We made friends with the barkeepers.
The bartenders at the Grand Hotel. The Grand Hotel, if you've ever been to Pensacola, you got to stay at the Grand Hotel. It is just unbelievable. But the bartender, Sunday night, I had run out of cigars because the stars that were there, and Barras was one of the guys who was working the event as well, and he had all of. They are the medieval Renaissance fair people, warriors and things like that.
Squires.
Barras is one of the knights, but he was also working the event.
Right.
And he came over and talked to all his people and said, "Look, this guy over here is my friend. Him and his wife. If they need anything, help them." And they were all over us. I mean, if it started raining, they'd run over and start grabbing stuff and putting it under the tent and it was holding the tent down. And we had, awesome. And who was it? Rhonda and the people with the Sprint booth that were next to us.
I want to say David.
What was their last name? David.
Oh God, why are you asking me all these complicated questions? I remember Rhonda.
Rhonda was cool. Rhonda was very cool. She was from Texas, and she was a gun instructor.
Yeah, she was awesome.
She was. I liked her. But we had a great time with everybody there. Yeah. The costumes were great. Most of the costumes were great. There were two that I saw that were not great.
I saw more than two.
No, I saw two that just.
The crossplay. Oh, that was scary. I'm not easily intimidated, but something about a big man in a corset and hip boots just don't do it for me. It was crazy.
It was.
But yeah, I told Miss Linda today when we were dropping off the little tent that, it's good to be home, but I damn sure missed the chauffeurs and the handlers.
Yeah, the chauffeurs and the handlers were really good. I ran out of cigars, like I was saying, Sunday night, and I asked Lynn, there was a cigar store right down the road, and I asked her, I said, would you go over there and get me some cigars? So Lynn went downstairs to the limos and got her a ride, and the driver took her to the cigar store where she got some cigars.
And they took me to Poseidon Bay. Both of us. They
took us to the dragster. But then they brought her back, and she came up with cigars, and I went down and was sitting out back smoking a cigar in the smoking area, the bar windows faced the smoking area, and I was sitting there smoking, and I looked up, and all the bartenders were sitting there banging on the window, telling me to come in. So when I went in, they had me, as I was ordering the other night, I want a little Crown and a lot of Coke. And so they had one of my little Crown and a lot of Coke sitting right there and thanked me for everything. Thanked me for all the money we gave them. Thanked me for having a great weekend and bringing business to them. And we had some unbelievable artists that were there. And when I watched Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back?
Yeah. There's
one part in that movie where Chris Rock is directing the movie. And somebody says he was the animator for the comic book, and Chris Rock calls the guy a tracer. Well, that has been for the last 3 or 4 cons that we have gone to. Every time somebody tells me they are drawers, they're artists, they're animators, I always call them tracers. and you ought to see their head turn red. It's just the coolest thing. And then when I start laughing about it and I tell them the Chris Rock thing, they all relate to it and understand. So it works out pretty good. And yes, I do look like Kenny Rogers tonight.
Hey, Kenny Rogers was a handsome man.
Man, not lately, though. Did you see him after he had that plastic surgery?
Yeah.
Looks like somebody smeared Preparation H all over his face and it tightened up.
I could have done that for half price.
But let's see. We got some new Farrell Skelton, Dan Spini, Cody Caldwell, Salvatore Magnolia. I don't know. We just got new people that are chiming in and hello and.
Well, hi guys.
Yeah, hi. So yeah,
from the con.
They may have. They may be because we did give out a buttload of cards for Whiskey Cars and Cigars and the Twisted Southern Horror Queen show. So let's see. It's 7:50. So that means I've got 10 minutes. So I've got to kill 10 minutes. Let me think of a really good way to kill 10 minutes.
Oh, God.
Well, this is a good way to kill a few, along with some brain cells. Let's see. Michael Smith is still getting me in trouble. I just can't believe he called in to get me in trouble. Yeah. Alan Faulkner said he is a retired master sergeant. I thought they were petty officers in the Air Force. I guess they got Navy. They got Navy almost insignias. Well, not really. Yeah, whatever. Gavin Williams said the F word drivers return on foot.
I like that.
We don't use the F word on this show. Now, we'll talk about Chevrolet and Dodge, but not that other one.
Road dead.
So I don't know. Is there anything else you would like to talk about?
I don't know. My mind is just a blank right now. Other than all the haunted history and stuff, you and Bill Gibson and Mike Jones were sitting there talking about cars and whatever. Me and Susie talked all dinner about haunted history and all crazy haunted.
Well, I was talking to Bill Gibson. Bill Gibson is the owner of the Christine movie car, and he's real good friends with Butch Patrick, who Butch Patrick now owns the two Monster cars. Mm-hmm. And Bill does events with him, with Butch and the Monster cars, and also Lita Ford. Whenever Lita Ford is in an area, if Bill is there is not there with Christine, Bill handles Lita Ford at those events. So he was getting us some stories about Lita Ford that were pretty cool, and some of her experiences with Ozzy, and that was kind of funny. But then Bill was talking about other events. I think he was talking about going to a big car show in Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. And he was asking me things about events that I want to attend, and I was asking him about events that he wants to attend, and I think we may be able to find some common ground where the Fury Dragster and Christine and possibly the Monster cars hang out together.
I think that
for weekends. Awesome. So yeah, because we've got the Fury Dragster is kind of a combination of Christine and the Monster cars.
Mm-hmm. She's creepy.
But yeah, so I mean everything's pretty good. We had a great time this weekend. We're looking for a really good time next weekend at Southern Outlaw Gassers Gasser Blowout 7. I know my buddy Ken Thibodeau stopped by the shop today. He should be coming back from his dinner with Randy Sandiford and the Southern Outlaw, the Southern Gassers bunch over in Mandeville. I can't remember Mr. Allen's name. Frankie Allen. Frankie Allen is and TK Hollingsworth Jr. and Senior there, and that whole crew that run with the Southern Gassers do that every Wednesday night during racing season.
And change show night.
Well, that's Ken asked me today. He said, "Man, I wish you could go. I wish your show wasn't on Wednesday nights." And I might have to. I don't know what I could do because we've got other shows on Thursday night, and then we've got shows on Friday nights.
Maybe you could pre-record.
Ken said that. Ken mentioned pre-recording the show, but I really tell you, yeah, I could pre-record the show and let it be going right now live, but I wouldn't get to interact with the people who are watching the show. And, if they're taking time out of their schedule to watch my show, I don't want them to watch something that's pre-recorded. Now, if I'm doing a drop-in at a con, or if I'm doing a drop-in on the shop on a different product or something, that's educational. That's something else, entertaining. But if all the people that are watching and listening tonight take time out of your busy schedule to watch and listen to me babble and drink moonshine. By the way, we've got new shirts going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks. So this is what we're doing. We've got new shirts that say, I drink moonshine with Johnny Blender. We should have those by next week. Hopefully we'll have some of those for the Southern Outlaw Gassers event in Atmore, Alabama next weekend. But yeah, man, sit down. I may have a few libations in the truck or the trailer. We may take one of these.
Pull a tickle.
We may take one of these Racer Direct fuel jugs and put a little different fuel in it. Oh, I'm getting all kind of hearts and kisses and faces and thumbs up and everything's happening now. We're talking about that. So yeah, man, if you want to get one of the I Drink Moonshine with Johnny Blender shirts, those will be available shortly. Lynn woke up. I got up at 3:45 this morning. Lynn got up a little bit after 6. When she walked in, sat down with her coffee, I said, I got an idea. And she goes, what is it? I said, I'm going to do shirts that say, I drink moonshine with Johnny Blender. I would have run out of those things if I would have had moonshine this weekend at PensiCon.
You'd run out of moonshine.
I would definitely run out of moonshine. I
don't think you got past Ian, baby.
Ian can drink. He's an Irish guy, man. He's hardcore. He can drink. And then there was another really good artist, Glenn Fabre.
Yeah. That
was from Belfast as well. Man, I looked at something. He said, just search my name on Google. So while we were sitting there talking, I searched his name on Google, and it looked like the freaking phone book.
Yeah.
100,000
hits.
100 and something thousand, and then I clicked on his artwork, just everything. The picture that he did of the Hulk is the picture that they used for the movie.
Wow.
With Bragna, whatever his name is. Yeah, with him. That the producers called him and said, look, we want to use that rendering of the Hulk for the movie poster.
That's awesome.
So he's just awesome.
Big guy. Huh?
Yeah.
Didn't call him a tracer, did you? Or did you? Oh, great.
That was the first night of the Crown event.
So you could have.
I could have called him a tracer as well.
That's probably why you said Google me.
But I had such a hard time understanding because Ian's Irish accent was thick.
Well, it's real easy to understand because like every third word was an F-bomb.
Yeah.
We caught that.
And it wasn't
Ford.
the auto manufacturer. But the other guy's accent was just really, really, really thick. I couldn't. I was just smiling and shaking my head a lot because I had no idea half the time what he was saying, and he was as intoxicated as Ian was. Do you mind if I sit here? And I was like, I really hope he said sit. All right, everybody. Look, I want to appreciate everybody for watching the show tonight. I also want to thank everybody who has sent their condolences about me losing my dog. I really appreciate that. It goes a long way. And I hope everybody will keep following it and tune in to Whiskey, Cars, and Cigars. For all the new followers, thank you for joining and watching. And for all you old guys, I already got you, so you just keep doing it. You ain't got nothing better to do at 7 o'clock at night on a Wednesday. So keep watching me. But, yeah, man, let's get out there and get some racing next weekend. Atmore, Alabama. And don't forget about the Wind Creek Casino. I hear the buffet is awesome. I will be letting them know how it is. But good night, everybody, and thank you, and have a great week and a great weekend. I'm Johnny Blender, along with my lovely sidekick, the Twisted Southern Horror Queen, And our wonderful sponsors, RacerDirect.net. Don't forget, use the WCC code for 5% off and free shipping. And Renegade Racing Fuel, if you need it, we've got it here at Vampire Chassis and Performance Metal Finishes. Do you have anything else?
I have nothing.
All right, everybody, we are out. Thank you. I didn't drop the Twitter cam tonight because I didn't turn it on, so I'm 0 for 50. Thank you, everybody. Good night.